Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat, and today our special guest is Denis Caron, who is CEO and President of the Port Authority of Belledune. Is that correct?
Much. That's correct.
That's correct.
You got it right on.
Yeah. So, Denis, our stories around Northern Heat are always about the things that are happening in the area, and the Port of Belledune, it's been here for a while, but I don't think everybody understands and knows what the Port of Belledune is. So, first of all, you're celebrating 50 years of operation this year.
That's right. So 50 years. So we started in 1968 as a result of the mining sector and the smelter that were built here back in 1968. Since then, we've attracted other industrial tenants, namely NB Power, and we have other activities going on at the port. So we're celebrating 50 years of being here, and clearly we're on the road.
Well, no, definitely are. So we spent a little bit of time talking here before we did this clip, and one of the things that we're talking about is that not only do you look after business for the port, your core business, but you're also looking above and beyond that, and what that can bring to the region. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So essentially, we are a bulk port. So we handle over 24 different types of product. So products such as wood pellets and biochips, perlite, coal, a variety of products. And clearly we've been a bulk port for over 50 years. And a second evolution of that is really to take some of that product, and now you can mix and match some of the product and make a value-added product out of it. And that's really our second wave. We're looking at opportunities in that area. We're looking at outside investment, actually investment coming from all over the world, because we're dealing in industrial size, opportunities here. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we're sitting on the Atlantic Ocean, the fact that we're open year-round as a port, and we have tremendous infrastructure here, connected to rail as well, allows us, global opportunities going forward. So we really want to market that more. And we believe, we have what it takes to make that happen.
And you have strategic partners in the area. You've got some big industries that are on both sides of you, and you can share some of that infrastructure, as we talked about a while ago.
So the point exactly, Bob, is to optimize what we have. And clearly we are prepared to make some very strategic investments in some of the infrastructure. But we do have infrastructure that we could better use or we could optimize. So in working with our partners, they afford us those opportunities to really, use some of that infrastructure. In addition to that, there are some very interesting synergies, because each of our industrial clients and tenants that are here also have opportunities that they're working on, and they're looking to grow their business or maintain their operation. So that gives us even more opportunities to work with them and to see what can be done.
Plus, we talked a little bit about it, and behind us there's actually a map there of your area. So the port not only includes 4 terminals that you have, but there's also quite a bit of land that can be developed, again, for your second wave, as you talked about a while ago, correct?
Exactly. So if you look at in Canada and quite frankly around the world, most ports are situated in urban areas. So here in Canada, whether it's the Port of Montreal or Vancouver or Halifax, they're in downtown core areas. They're very limited in their growth opportunities. In our case, we have over 60 acres of land for our 4 terminals, but we have over 2,000 acres of land for future development, plus probably even more of that. So we don't really have the issues that an urban area would have.
Correct.
And clearly, with all due respect, I mean, some of the urbanites really don't like a lot of traffic in their backyard, and that's not the case here. We presently handle over 200 truckloads of material that come in and out on a daily basis, and we have, of course, room to grow that. But again, we're not annoying anybody in the area, because we are, we have all that space and we're strategically located.
How many ships do you have in a year that would go through the port?
So typically our volumes have been increasing in the last a couple of years. So we've been increasing by about 20% per year in our volumes. We have over 100 ships per year that come in, and once again we have opportunity to grow that.
Well, and like you said, sometimes we don't really think about it, but the Bay of Chaleur is really connected to the Atlantic Ocean, and from there you can go anywhere. And on top of that, I think that you mentioned it a while ago too. You're the only, or there might be another one that's around. But when you think about it, everybody else is mostly container.
Right, and that's really, I think, our niche is that most ports in Canada are container ports. We handle bulk once again. So we have a niche in that area, and the fact that we're handling about 2.5 million tons of product per year allows us, to grow and to have more capabilities here at the port. You're absolutely right. We're not only sitting on the Bay of Shore, we're sitting on the Atlantic Ocean. So we have materials that come in from Greece. We have materials that go out to the UK. We have material that go to Turkey, South America. So we're global in nature. And once again, that's something that perhaps a lot of the local residents are not aware of, that we are not only local but global in our approach.
Well, listen, I want to thank you again for sharing this little bit of time with us to talk about what the port has to offer. Again, like you mentioned, a lot of people in the area just don't know what the Port of Belledune is. It's been sitting here for 50 years, but it's a port. It's a big wharf that's sitting in northern New Brunswick. But you're connected to the world. You're connected to businesses and moving product in and out from all over the place. And now looking at, and if I use your language again, the second wave, the opportunities that you have to grow this into value-added businesses that could partner up with somebody else's economical development for the area. So really appreciate it.
Thanks, Bob.
And again, there's another story of northern heat and putting on the heat in northern New Brunswick from the port of Belledune. If you've got a story that you want to share with us of yourselves, or even better, somebody that's got a really good story to tell and share that they're turning up the heat in northern New Brunswick, get a hold of us and we'll put it on the air.